flop. Okay, it also tells me how many, we're on the round 2 video for my run here in this tournament, going over software review, tournament indicators, the software. I'm just saying how it's important that you need to float players based on your reads, and they say you can't read people online. It's nonsense. With this software you can. It tells you how many times they voluntarily put money in the pot. It tells you how many times they pre-flop raised. It tells you how many times they 3-bet. It tells you how many times they stole. It tells you on the flop. It tells you how many times their aggression factor. It tells you their continuation bet factor, meaning how many times they bet before and then always bet again after. Now that information right there is very valuable, because if it's high number, you know they're going to bet. They could have anything on their second bet. But if it's really low, then you know that if they bet a second time that they have something. Okay, you have their win the showdown, you have their net, you have their streak. Okay, this tells you everything, and we have opened up here with aces, 61,000. Now we're going to continue with our aggression and keep raising. I'm going to thin call here, hoping for one more caller so I can shove him all in on the flop and get some real value. But anyway, we're down to it. He's got 2 outs, and he might put a diamond out there, thin him right out. Okay, no 4, we're good. Okay. More value for us there. $23,000, 225. So now we're up to 73,000. And what I was getting at with the floating players thing is, you know, it's not like you have to call every time you don't have a hand. But if you know that they probably don't have a hand, it's not a bad idea to call, because if they give up, you can press on that action and take down the pot. You're not going to win just waiting for top 10 hands the whole tournament. Okay, not everybody runs like Jamie fucking Gold. Okay, you need to learn how to, like this right here. This looks like a steal, and he's laying me 5-1. Now I could float him here. Okay, and if he doesn't have an ace, he's going to practically give up. But the problem is I've taken too long, and that play probably won't work best in this situation. But if you understand what I'm getting at with floating players, it's a key element. Also, like I've been talking about today a lot, isolating the limper. That's a very good play. If one of these like he limps, okay. Now King 4, you say, oh, that's not a playable hand. Now I've already isolated it to 2, so I'm just going to check here and see my flop. But, you know, I could have very well raised there and get it down to 1 opponent, and that's where you want to be at. Now this guy could be full of shit because he always bets 1,000 on the flop. I got to give one of them an ace. I don't want to draw against 5 outs for 10,000 in my stack. But I'm in a good position to take down the tournament. And there's your ace, and he's got diamonds. I am in trouble. I need a king or a 4 that's non-diamond. You know, and I didn't get there, so I would have lost. But I might have been able to get him all in, but it wouldn't have made a difference. That right there was the proper fold, because I knew I was behind. You don't want to call and say, whether it's before the flop or after the flop, or any point in the hand, you don't want to call and say, okay, well, I need this board to hit me. Okay, I need this flop to hit me. Okay, I need this turn to hit me. Okay, I need this river to hit me. You do not want to be doing that. What you want to be doing is saying to yourself, you know, after you put yourself in this hand, you want to be saying, okay, the flop can't hit him. Okay, I don't want that, because that means you're always on the better half of the action. You're always on the higher end of the percentages, which over time, even though there is bad beats, you know, the frequency of you winning will obviously grow if you're on the better end of the percentages all the time. So just focus it in your level of thinking, saying, you know, I don't want this flop to help me. You got to say to yourself, I don't want this flop to have to help him. Now this guy's been doing a lot of bullshit with me, so I'm going to make a little move here and see if I can't get this pot. I gotta let him know that you can't just fucking buy me out every single fucking time. I gotta make a stand too. Okay, so I'll be back on another hand. Oh, we'll play these 6s. Now here, hopefully he limps and we can isolate the limper and get this dead money. Like if he just limps and I re-raise like 3,000-4,000, I get the 1,500 that's right here that's dead, and the extra 700 that's in Andy's. Okay. Now I'm gonna flat call this to hope for a set and bust him. There's no reason for me to have to get, you know, 20,000 in just with these 6s. You know, when I got a really good chance. 6. It didn't happen this time. Now we surrender, unfortunately. Oh man, that's just so beautiful. Giving me these odds, man. It's like begging me to call. Now the raise can help me. So we know we're behind there. And it says wager. I'll be back on the hand. Peace. Okay, here we are. We got them. This is what we wanted. We're probably against an ace. We've got the full boat. You know, we could get a bad beat here, but I doubt it. I mean, this is locked. There's a flush that got there. Now we're gonna go for it. Hopefully we can get a call on a flush draw or something. Just gotta go for it. Make it look like we're stealing. guys get it in there. Come on. Yes! Got him on a flush. I knew he was chasing. And I had to go for maximum value there. Now we got 116,000. We've got ourselves in the 13th place out of 361. This is where we want to be. Now the reason why I overbet that, you're saying, wow, that's a dumb bet because they could fold, but really it's not, because so much improvement got there and I knew I had a full house locked in. Okay? So if he had the flush or he had the straight that got there, now I know I can get max value, because who's going to invest that much in a hand and then fold once they hit the hand that we're going for? They're not going to. If that wasn't a club, I probably would have bet more of a pot-sized bet, because against two opponents with the flat calls like that, I raised, he raised, I re-raised, he flat called. That's obviously a draw, because if he was locked in, he would want to raise more to get rid of that draw. But he didn't. He just called. That tells me that he's on a draw. Now the club comes. That means if he hit that club draw, now I know I'm getting paid maximum value. That's why I went all in, and that's why I got paid off for it. Now these are little things that most amateurs don't even bother even thinking into. They just wait for ace king or something and boom, you know. Very important. Very, very important. Okay, I'll be back. Peace. And we're back here. Now you have ace king. We're going to take control of this hand by re-raising here. Figure we can isolate this one player. I don't want to go stack for stack at this point with ace king being in the green M zone, but I do want to take control of the hand. And hey, look, that's always good. Especially with ace king when you're not made. It's still a drawing hand. The videos for YouTube, I believe, are 10 minutes. Right now we're running 6:45. I might, unless I get some really interesting action, if I get the final table, I'll just wait and broadcast that, because we're already 2 videos in. I don't want to have you guys have to watch an hour video or whatever, so yeah, I'll make sure we come back on a good hand. We got a few more minutes left. Okay? 120,000. We are currently 28th place at 238. Very awesome position, really deep. It's almost like a cash game when it is deep. You just got to play like that's 120 grand of your money, because you know it is. Because if you win, you get the $800 prize off the dollar. So you're winning 800 times your investment. So you have to treat this like it's your life, you know, like it's all you got left. So the software's tournament indicator, you guys should pick it up. I'm not an affiliate or nothing with the company, so if you do, it doesn't matter to me. Just telling you, this is very useful information for $100. It's well worth it. You get everything you need to know. Most important being the game. So traditionally, the pros usually used to count big blinds. They were like, oh, I got 50 big blinds, I got 100 big blinds, I got 200 big blinds. That's how. But this M zone is so much more than just counting big blinds. It literally breaks down everything from blinds to games to players of the tournament to everything you can think of for the math facts to benefit you into knowing how you should make your decisions. So what I'm going to do is just going to come back if we get to the final table, and there's some good information in the past videos before. Couple few key things that I covered. We're floating players, so when you call, when you necessarily don't have a monster hand, just so that way you can dictate the action later in the hand if they give up for a big time continuation better. That works handy. And the other was isolating the limper. When someone lifts into the pot and you're in later position, you re-raise that hand so that way the blinds fold out and you get their free dead money and isolate to one opponent, which always makes it easier to win. I go over them in the previous videos before, and underneath this one will be the final table if we get there. It's Darth Wager here. And this will be the last hand. Now we're going to compare with this just to see what happens. Ace-7 is not a very playable hand right now. Minus 0.8, that's expected value. So, and here we got the top pair aces, so we're going to bet for value here. We know if we get re-raised, we might be up against a better ace, but other than that, we have to assume we have the best hand at this point. This is going to round out the tape at 10 minutes, so we'll have the final table below if we make it there. We cruised at 5,202 players in this tournament, and now we're down to 220 players, which I'm 32nd, and we're waiting to the money. So we're already making money no matter what, but we're going to hit this final table and really do it big. There it is right there. It's the end of it. Darth Wager, signing out. See you at the final. Peace. Hope the information is handy. You're right.